It's been a good 30 years since I last wrote something like a letter. Don't have a typewriter or nothing, so unfortunately you're stuck with my shitty handwriting for now. I heard you're heading back to Redgrave. Wasn't sure exactly what I could do for you. I'm not a powerhouse like you, or the sharpest knife in the drawer. Still, given my business, the least I can do is get you a few leads. Can't say exactly how useful they'll be to you, but hey, gotta be better than nothing, right? So, the first time I met Dante, he actually went by a different name, Tony Redgrave. Bet that got your attention, huh? Tony Redgrave, Redgrave City, just a coincidence? Or something more? I honestly can't say. Still, figured if you're heading in that direction, you might be able to learn the truth yourself. That's why I've decided to tell you everything about the Dante I know. It ain't every day I just give this stuff away, boy. You'd best be grateful. Back when Dante went by Tony Redgrave, there was this place, Bobby's Cellar. A dive infested with bounty hunters, would-be soldiers of fortune, and often enough, our old pal Tony. It showed up from time to time like any of the other punks and lowlifes looking to make a quick buck. That's the kind of place Bobby Cellar was. There were plenty of guys like me around too. Every one of us knew to make the rounds to these joints and peddle our information like precious gems. Most importantly, getting those jobs covered kept the cash flowing in. You better believe old Tony made me a pretty penny. Still, that guy was always broke as a bottle of wine. He'd end up busting his guns on every job. Sure, it all makes sense now, but at the time, I was dumbfounded. I'd ask myself, what kind of shots is this guy packing to break a pair of pistols on every single job? This old gunsmith in the neighborhood was always giving him an earful. Normal pieces must be like a pair of pop guns to a guy like you, huh, Tony? Eventually, he got wise that he'd never make a solid payday at this rate, so he got the old lady to design a pair of pistols just for him. You guessed it. She ended up introducing Dante to his old pals, Ebony and Ivory. But wouldn't you know it, she died just as soon as the job was finished. Well, more like she was killed. I never figured out who did it either. I was out of town on a big job myself at the time, you see, but Dante, he knew from the sound of it. One of the toughs from his regular haunt said that after she passed, he went off somewhere with the most crestfallen look he'd ever seen. That's the last anyone would ever see of Tony Redgrave at Bobby's Cellar. Before long, I got wind that old Tony had opened a little racket of his own, Devil May Cry. I managed to track it down and walked in to find a man by the name of Dante. Said that been his real name all along. That was the start of a beautiful friendship, let me tell you. I'd never believe in demons or anything like that, but hanging around that guy long enough is a goddamn eye-opener, that's for sure. Met lady around the same time. Dante always played fast and loose with his money, you see. I'd see her toss a few bones his way sometimes, even a job or two, griping about it the whole time, of course. The way they carried on, you could tell they shared some kind of past. Nothing romantic or nonsense like that, no. It's more like they got what the other had been through. I tried the roundabout route to figure it out, but those two dodge questions the way they dodge bullets. The past isn't something they bring up lightly. One time, a lady let something slip about cutting ties that bind. She was on a pretty heavy bender, mentioned something about them each having killed family. Dante, his brother, and lady, her father. Can't say for sure if that's the whole story. I suppose I could look into it. It is my line of business after all. But I'm not the kind of scum to drudge up a friend's past just to sate my own curiosity. So I just chalk it up to the drink. A bunch of booze-induced nonsense, as far as I'm concerned. A few years went by, and Dante went off to an island. Something about a case this pretty young thing brought in. Seems the Demon King was trying to break a seal to get into our world, and she wanted Dante to stop him. So off our boy went on a ship to Malay Island I chartered for him. And the pretty young thing that went with him? That was Trish. I gotta say, I was taken aback when I first laid eyes on her. A dead ringer for Dante's late mother. I'd never met the woman, but can you believe the guy used to have a framed photo of her on his desk? Bet you'd never have guessed that one. Anyway, it was only later that I learned of Trish's true demonic nature. She was to lure Dante to his death on Malay Island, a sad creature created for the birth of the Demon King. The photo on Dante's desk was common knowledge at the time. I guess the Demon King wanted to take advantage of his filial affection. All sorts of things went down on that island. Dante took out the Demon King once and for all, and came back to Devil May Cry with Trish in tow. I don't know the details of what transpired out there. Prying into such matters is unbecoming of one in my position. Besides, the important thing is that back then, Dante defeated the ruler of the demon world. And this time around, when we showed up, guess what task he had for our boy Dante? Defeat the resurrected Demon King. So Dante took the case and hoofed it to Redgrave City. Is the Demon King waiting for him there the same one from Malay Island? Your guess is as good as mine. Still, I can't shake the feeling that this whole thing is connected to Dante's roots somehow. After all, this is the Tony Redgrave we're talking about here. And there you have it, the whole kit and caboodle. If I learn anything new, I'll be sure to contact you, so don't go dying on me before I do. I think I see another beautiful friendship in the works here, kid. Don't let me down.